Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk about the P0420 code, which is one of the most common and annoying codes that can pop up on your dashboard. If you have this code, it means that your catalytic converter is not working as efficiently as it should, and you need to fix it as soon as possible. In this video, I will explain what the P0420 code means, what are the possible causes, how to diagnose and fix it, where to buy the parts, and how much it will cost you to do it yourself or have a mechanic do it for you. So let's get started. First of all, what is a catalytic converter and why is it important? A catalytic converter is a device that is part of your exhaust system. It reduces the harmful emissions from your engine by converting them into less toxic gases, such as carbon dioxide and water. This way, you can protect the environment and pass the emission tests. A catalytic converter looks like a metal can with a honeycomb structure inside. It has two oxygen sensors, one before and one after it, that measure the oxygen level in the exhaust gases. The engine control module, or ECM, uses this information to adjust the air-fuel ratio and monitor the efficiency of the catalytic converter. The P0420 code stands for Catalyst System Efficiency Below Threshold Bank 1. It means that the ECM has detected that the oxygen level in the exhaust after the catalytic converter is too similar to the oxygen level before it. This indicates that the catalytic converter is not breaking down the pollutants enough, and its efficiency is below the minimum standard. The code is usually accompanied by the check engine light and sometimes by other codes related to the oxygen sensors, the fuel system, or the ignition system. There are many possible causes for the P0420 code, but the most common one is a faulty or damaged catalytic converter. This can happen due to normal wear and tear or due to external factors, such as oil or coolant contamination, incorrect fuel type, exhaust leaks, or engine problems. A faulty oxygen sensor can also trigger the code by sending inaccurate data to the ECM. Sometimes, the code can be a false alarm caused by a temporary condition, such as a cold start, a bad tank of gas, or a loose gas cap. To diagnose the P0420 code, you need an OBD2 scanner or code reader that can plug into the OBD port under the dashboard. You can also use a smartphone app and a wireless dongle that connects to the OBD port via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Once you have the code, you can use online databases or repair manuals to find out what it means and how to fix it. You should also check for other codes that may be related to the P0420 code and fix them first. For example, if you have a code for a misfire, a fuel injector, or a mass airflow sensor, you should address those issues before moving on to the catalytic converter. To fix the P0420 code, you need to identify the root cause of the problem and replace the faulty part. The most common solution is to replace the catalytic converter, which is usually located under the car, between the engine and the muffler. You will need some tools, such as a jack stands, wrenches, sockets, and a ratchet. You will also need a new catalytic converter that is compatible with your vehicle. You can buy one online or at a local auto parts store. You should also check the state and federal laws regarding the type and quality of the catalytic converter you can use, as some states have stricter emission standards than others. To replace the catalytic converter, you need to follow these steps. Raise the car with a jack and secure it with jack stands. Locate the catalytic converter and disconnect the oxygen sensors from it. You may need to spray some penetrating oil on the sensor connectors to loosen them. Remove the bolts or clamps that hold the catalytic converter to the exhaust pipes. You may need to use a breaker bar or a torch to loosen them. Remove the old catalytic converter and inspect it for any damage or clogging. You can also shake it and listen for any rattling noise, which indicates that the honeycomb structure is broken. Install the new catalytic converter and reconnect the oxygen sensors. Make sure the gaskets and seals are in good condition and aligned properly. Tighten the bolts or clamps and lower the car. Clear the code with the OBD2 scanner or code reader and test drive the car to see if the code comes back. If the code does not come back, congratulations, you have successfully fixed the P0420 code. If the code comes back, it means that the problem is not the catalytic converter, but something else. In that case, you may need to replace the oxygen sensor, which is a cheaper and easier fix. You can follow the same steps as above, but instead of removing the catalytic converter, you just remove the oxygen sensor and replace it with a new one. You can also check for any leaks or cracks in the exhaust system and repair them with epoxy putty or welding. If none of these solutions work, you may have a more serious engine problem, such as a head gasket leak, a faulty fuel injector, or a bad spark plug. In that case, you may need to consult a professional mechanic for further diagnosis and repair. The cost of fixing the P0420 code depends on the cause and the parts you need to replace. A new catalytic converter can cost anywhere from $400 to $2,400 depending on the brand, quality, and compatibility. A new oxygen sensor can cost between $200 and $300. A leak repair can cost between $100 and $200. If you do it yourself, you can save some money on labor, but you will need to buy the tools and parts. If you take your car to a mechanic, you will pay more for labor, but you will have the benefit of a warranty and a professional service. The average cost of fixing the P0420 code by a mechanic is between $500 and $1,200.